So this month marks 10 years since starting this channel. Pretty much to the day, I think. And for the last few years, obviously I haven't done much with it. And I think this is because basically making those videos stopped being enjoyable. What started as a creative outlet became exhausting. And for those first couple of years, I was forcing myself to stick to a posting schedule because that's what the algorithm demanded. That's what everyone says is the key to success on YouTube. But in the end, this enforced schedule just killed enjoyment for me. And yeah, it felt like the channel just kind of faded to nothing. It wasn't some dramatic decision to stop. Life just moved on really, and things changed with my work. I set up my own business and I slowly discovered other ways to be creative. Quieter ways really. I was living in central London at the time, and I started a little balcony garden. I went back to college and learned how to make clothes. And after years of barely reading a book, in 2017 I committed to reading a book a week, which I've mostly stuck to. And that sort of turned into a surprising interest in writing. Just writing a few pages at first, then dabbling with short stories, working on novels, and yeah, just doing whatever felt right without any pressure to complete something or work towards some specific goal. I was just really enjoying the creative process. And recently the impulse to make videos has arisen again. And to be honest, I don't know what this channel is going to be. All I know is I'm going to do what feels right. I'm not going to force myself to do a video a week. I'm just going to film whenever I want, and who knows what that will be. I've also spent a lot of time working on myself, I suppose, over the last few years, especially in this last 12 months. Exploring what it is I want to do, how I see my life, letting myself follow these instincts without any pressure or deadlines. And I know it's a total cliche, but we do get one shot at life. You know, so I refuse to put pressure on myself to achieve what other people see as success. I refuse to treat my life like one long to-do list with just a handful of high points. I sort of think of every day and every choice as a way to get closer to our perfect day. And why shouldn't every day be sort of perfect? Obviously, it's very easy to say these things, but kind of hard in practice. But I think just having a day where I can read or write or do whatever I want without feeling guilty that I'm not being productive is just really important for me. And so I think it was about 6 years ago I told myself I'd stay in London for another 3 years. But then a few things changed very quickly. Somewhere in there I ended up buying an apartment in London. And I'm not saying it was the wrong decision, and really with the way my work was back then, it felt like there was no other option. But then COVID happened, and as awful as that was for pretty much everybody, I have to say I did enjoy the enforced solitude. I just realised how much I enjoy quiet and how important that really is for me as a way of recharging. And one of the silver linings of that period was really a shift in how I work. So physically, all my work is online now, so I didn't have to be in London anymore. But I was, and I realised that I really like being alone. I really need space and quiet to really be able to enjoy the outside world. And I didn't have that. An apartment in London with neighbours on all sides didn't offer me that sanctuary, that kind of quiet space to retreat to. And so yeah, I knew all the way back then it was time for me to leave. But of course, life never quite happens as you hope and imagine it will. And it turned out some legal problem from when I bought the place meant I couldn't sell it, which was initially very stressful, to not be in control of the situation, to not be able to make choices because of something somebody else has done, was very difficult. And it just led to me not enjoying my living situation. And it's been sort of up and down, but in those up moments I kind of had an acceptance of this is the situation, so what can I do? And I realised I didn't know where I wanted to live, I just knew where I didn't want to live. So I used the last 18 months to really explore and find out what it was I was going to be moving on to next. So last summer I booked some time in this off-grid cabin that you can see now. It's in rural Scotland. It's literally off-grid, as in there's no running water, no electricity except for a set of solar-charged fairy lights. Heating is provided by a wood stove, and the only toilet was 100 metres walk into a wood. It was meant to be a quiet retreat, some downtime and solitude, and it was. There was no phone reception, no internet. I read 4 books in 4 days, but also for the first time in years, I felt the impulse to make a video. And so with no real idea of what it would be, or if I'd even put it on YouTube, I spent one of my days there filming this video, which I suppose was a sort of mood board or visualization of a romanticised version of the life I thought I might enjoy after London, although I think running water and internet might be nice, and as idyllic as this looks, there is something quite scary about being in a glass box in the middle of the woods after the sun has gone down. And midnight trips to the toilet were like a scene from the Blair Witch Project, so not sure it's for me. I filmed most of this in 2022 and never had the impulse to upload it, but for some reason that impulse has come now. As I finish editing this, I'm hopefully entering my final few weeks in London. The apartment is sold. I found a barn conversion in a cute little town in Cambridgeshire, and if all goes well, I'm hoping by Christmas to be starting a new chapter. As for videos, I can't say what this channel will be for sure, or how often videos will appear. Sometimes I will probably just want to film beautiful things I see, maybe weave them into a story, or maybe not. It might end up being random musings, or if nothing else, maybe just an interesting way to chart the next portion of my life. I know this is quite a departure from my previous style of videos, but 10 years has passed. I think the whole point of life is to change, evolve, to grow, and be more honest about what you are, what you want, and for now this is what I want to do. So yeah, let me know what's changed for you in the last 10 years. Say hello in the comments and hopefully see you again soon. Thanks for watching.